Ekaterina Semenova, and she will be talking about the magical art of dubbing the Potterverse Slavic language edition.
Mischief Managed. My name is Kate and I am from Russia, and today I would like to present my topic to you, the magical art of dubbing Potterverse Slavic language edition. And we will start this presentation with how it's going to go, what parts are going to be there. So this presentation will be divided into 4 parts: culture of dubbing in Russia, Harry Potter dubbing in Russia, dubbing differences, and conclusions. And to start off with a little bit dubbing history, how the dubbing culture was developing in Russia. In the early 1930s, the USSR adopted voice-over dubbing. A single narrator, often male, read the translation over the original soundtrack. And when he was reading the translation of the original soundtrack, it was becoming more accessible, and but the problem was that it was sacrificing the emotional nuances. And later, the industry began experimenting with full dubbing, which required actors to meticulously match on-screen intonation and articulation, and this demanding process involved careful translation adapted to phrase lengths, precise voice selection, and extensive rehearsals. And then the period from 1950s to 1970s was noted for the high-quality Soviet dubbing, described as intelligent and profound. Skilled translation and accurate voice acting helped viewers connect with the original performance much more. And sometimes it became even more elevating than the original film itself. And then a significant shift occurred in the early 2000s when global studios like Warner Brothers entered the Russian market, and they demanded a prerequisite for showing their films. It was supposed to be professional, high-quality dubbing with excellent acting and precise synchronization. This stimulated the modern development of the Russian dubbing industry to an international standard, beginning with major releases like the Harry Potter movies. And from this part, I would like to show you more the Russian dubbing actors who stood behind the Russian dubbing process. And before I do that, I will show you first a little clip of every character in English, in case you forgot, so that you can compare both of these clips. And the first one is, of course, Emma Watson.
Has anyone seen a toad? Boy named Neville's lost one. No. Oh. Are you doing magic? Let's see then.
And then the person who was dubbing Emma Watson, that was Lina Ivanova. Lina Ivanova is very famous in the Russian fandom because till this day she says that she didn't read the Harry Potter books, and sometimes because of that the fandom hates on her a little bit. But she also mentioned that Warner Brothers were very precise when they were deciding who is going to voice Hermione.
Мальчик по имени Невилл потерял жабу. Нет. О, вы колдуете? Ну и как?
Солнце, маргаритки, мягкое масло.
Ты в этом заклинании уверен?
Мне кажется, оно не очень хорошее.
Кстати, я тоже испробовала некоторые простые заклинания, но они все действовали.
And the next one is Rupert Grint. Our one and only and favorite.
Excuse me. Do you mind? Everywhere else is full. Not at all. I'm Ron, by the way. Ron Weasley.
Ron was dubbed by 2 actors. One was Olga Sirina, and another one, when he became a teenager, it was a guy who was older. The main goal was to find voices that could credibly age together with the characters on screen, or at least maintain consistency, which is why a female actor was chosen for the first 3 movies to dub Ronald. You will see now how she did the job, if she was successful or not. I hope that you enjoy her performance.
Не возражаешь? Все места уже заняты. Я Рон, кстати. Рон Уизли.
Гарри Поттер.
Значит, это правда? У тебя действительно на лбу есть этот...
Что?
Шрам.
Да.
Вот дьявол.
And then the choice was made after the 3rd movie to choose Alexei Kostrichkin to voice Rupert Grint, because Ronald grew up So they decided that voice would fit him and match him much better. So
Кто-нибудь стоящий? Я думал, у тебя есть план.
Я рассказал вам все, что услышал от Дамблдора. И ты, возможно, заметил, один крестраж мы нашли.
Да, и понятия не имеем, как уничтожить его и найти все остальные.
And the next one is Daniel Radcliffe, our one and only Harry Potter. Let's take a look at this list.
It seems, despite your exhaustive defensive strategies, you still have a bit of a security problem, Headmaster.
And he was dubbed by Nikolai Bystrov. He took over from the second up till the eighth movie. It was necessary to ensure vocal consistency as Daniel Radcliffe matured throughout the films. So let's take a look at this clip and see how he was able to handle the job. But in Russia, mostly everybody loves the way that he dubbed Daniel Radcliffe. Their voices are, I would say, somehow match in a very good way. So, yes.
Думаю, несмотря на все ваши защитные меры, у вас проблемы с безопасностью, директор. И, боюсь, весьма серьезные.
And now we go to our Professor Dumbledore, Michael Gambon, who was playing Dumbledore. It's a very interesting thing.
Welcome, welcome to another year at Hogwarts. Now, I'd like to say a few words before we all become too befuddled by our excellent feast.
It's very interesting how he was dubbed and which actors dubbed him. Because with the passing of Richard Harris, they had to change the role in the Russian dubbing team as well. Because of that, multiple Russian actors portrayed Dumbledore across the series. But the most important one was Andrei Yaroslavtsev. And in general, it's a very iconic role to dub. And the actors who were chosen, they had to have emotional presence of the original English performance, ensuring that the Russian audience felt the same commanding presence. I think when you hear the voice of Andrei Yaroslavtsev, you'll understand what I'm talking about and how commanding he can really be. So let's take a look at that.
Поздравляю всех с новым учебным годом. Я бы хотел сказать несколько слов, прежде чем мы все приступим к нашему великолепному пиршеству. Во-первых, я рад приветствовать профессора Люпина, вашего нового преподавателя защиты от темных искусств. Удачи, профессор!
And one and only Gary Oldman, iconic in his series Black role. Let's take a look at this clip to remember a little bit.
I expect you're tired of hearing this. You look so like your father. Except your eyes. Yeah, my mother's eyes. It's cruel that I got to spend so much time with James and Lily and you so little.
And he was dubbed by Boris Tokarev. And in an interview, he actually said that it was he got the job accidentally because another actor wasn't able to do that. But when you will hear his voice, I think you will understand why it was really like the stars collided and why everybody loves, especially his performance in Russia so much in the Potterverse. And he was also asked about his feelings in an interview about Sirius dying, and to which he replied that if he gets upset about every character he dubs who dies, he wouldn't live to see another day. So I guess they don't have such tether with the characters like we do, the fandom. But still, he is a very experienced, very professional actor, and he did a marvelous job at that. And the whole fandom really up to this day loves him.
Мы уже говорили это. Ты так похож на своего отца. За исключением глаз. Глаза.
Мамины.
Я провел так много времени с Джеймсом и Лили, а ты так мало. Но знаешь,
And the next one is Brendan Gleeson, who played Mad-Eye Moody.
That's wonder. Could have provided you with Gillyweed if I hadn't given him the book that led him straight to it. Ah! Do you think that?
And he was dubbed by Alexander Klukwin. It's a very interesting also story how he got the role for the Mad-Eye Moody. He does a lot of interviews on YouTube where he talks about Harry Potter and how much love he found for Harry Potter after he dubbed for this franchise. Actually, John Rowling herself chose Alexander Klukwin's voice out of 10 other final options which were proposed. And then after he participated in the dubbing process, he even started to record audio versions of all the Harry Potter books in the Russian language. So he is for sure like a true fan, and he's very proud of the fact that he was participating in this project. And he said,
Думаешь, этот жалкий болван отвел бы тебя в лес, если бы я не посоветовал? Ты думаешь, Седрик Дигори подсказал бы тебе открыть яйцо под водой, если бы я его не надоумил? Думаешь, этот Невил Долгопупс, этот безмозглый тупица, достал бы тебе жабросли, если бы я не дал ему книг про эти дурацкие растения? А?
And the next one is Jason Isaacs, of course, iconic in his role of Lucius Malfoy for all the Slytherin fans out there.
Very nicely. Support. Lucius Malfoy. We meet at last.
And he was dubbed by Valery Starozhik. Valery mentioned in one of his interviews that Jason Isaacs' performance in the movies is out of this world. And thus, when you come to the studio and you stand in front of the mic, you see such hard work, and you can only try to somehow reach to that level of acting and show all of the colors of this completely whole and created already character. But it's very interesting because it seems like from the interviews in real life, Valery is like a very nice guy.
Сос Малфой. Позвольте, молодой человек, ваш легендарный шрам такой же легендарный, как и волшебник, который его вам оставил.
Он не более, чем убийца.
Чтобы произносить его имя, нужно быть храбрецом или глупцом. А вы должно быть мисс Грейнджер.
So he's a very nice guy in real life, and it's interesting how throughout his career he was dubbing for the bad guys. And now a little bit about who dubbed Potterverse. If I'm not about in the videos, but outside of that. So very interesting thing is that Kuznetsov. So Всеволод Kuznetsov, he was chosen to voice Ralph Fiennes, Voldemort, from the fourth film onward. And his voice is very rich and commanding, and it's instantly recognizable as considered one of the golden voices of Russia, which allowed him to successfully portray the high-stakes menace required for the Dark Lord. But also in demonstration of his versatile skills, I have to share this with you that he also is credited for voicing Remus Lupin in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, a character who is very distinct from Voldemort. And this is common practice in the dubbing industry, but a testament to his ability to create completely different vocal identities. And Severus Snape, Alexei Ryazantsev was the one who was portraying him throughout all the movies, maintained consistency across all 8 films. They say that the way that he was able to portray Severus Snape and Alan Rickman's performance, it's very powerful. And some dubbing differences which I wanted to show to you and to talk about. Little bit of Russian here will be, but I think it will not be very difficult, and you will be able to understand because as you can see here, I wrote the Russian version, what it sounds like, and the English one. So in this...
Как-то странно. Я вернусь еще. Я это знаю. Казалось бы, что может быть не так с этим отрывком? В нем есть скрытый смысл. И скрыт он никем иным, как полюбившийся нам всем в детстве озвучкой. Вот что на самом деле говорит Гарри.
It says again, doesn't it? Oh, we're going home. Not really.
So in this clip, Harry says, "I will come back. I know it," and that's what he says in Russian. And in English, he says, "I'm not going home. Not really." And for all the English audience, we know that it means that where Dursleys live, it's not his home anymore. Hogwarts is his home, and it will always be his home. But in Russian, I think they decided to change it in this way because they wanted to show to the audience that yes, the second movie will be there for sure. Maybe they didn't know it yet, but they wanted this hope that the next movies will be coming out to be there, and that's why they said that for sure I will come back, so that people will be waiting for the next movie. And another interesting case and in the dub.
Они все просто неотесанные дикари.
Вы подумаете, ну что здесь может быть не так? Но здесь есть скрытый смысл. И скрыт он никем иным, как полюбившийся нам всем с детства озвучкой. Вот что на самом деле говорит Гарри.
I'm going to the library.
So, as we know, in this clip, in the English version, Harry is kind of making comments about Viktor Krum and how he was pining after Hermione. But in the Russian version, they are showing that Harry is kind of judging the whole crowd who are dancing, and that's why he calls them uncouth savages. And the third dummy difference that I wanted to show is this one. I think you will love this one. It's my favorite one. It's
Тогда как в дубляже он произнес это заклятие почти без колебаний.
Северус, прошу тебя. Авада кедавра.
Here the main thing is not even about the translation, but about the intonation. And here I wrote that yes, in Russian there is no hesitation, and in English one Severus Snape hesitated. Why it's like this? There is this theory, which I believe is that they really wanted to keep under wraps for the Russian audience, for the Russian fandom in Russia, that Snape is a spy, that he is actually a good guy, and that's why they decided to show that he killed Dumbledore completely without any hesitation, so that nobody can suspect that he's on our side, so that everybody after they leave the theater will be like, my god, Snape is an evil guy, he betrayed us all. But it wasn't like that. But I think they just wanted to kind of deviate, you can say, the audience into thinking that Snape is the bad guy. And the last slide, it's my references and conclusions. I would like to say that in conclusion, there are many more examples of how Russian dubbing varies in comparison with the original version of the movie. And I would love to keep collecting material on this topic in the future. But a whole generation of millennials in Russia grew up watching these movies, and they keep quoting back to each other phrases with exactly the same intonation and timbre, which was created by the Russian dubbing actors. In the conditions that they were put in, they managed to create something very special to fans all over my country, and we will forever cherish that and keep coming back every Christmas holiday to our own version of the Harry Potter movies. Thank you so much for your attention, and I would like to show a little clip of how Russian people really quote back all the Russian phrases when they come to the Harry Potter world in Japan. I found this clip on the internet, on Instagram. I think it's very funny.
Гарри! Сэр! Я думаю, что Гарри целуется вполне прилично, Рональд.
Кром.
Это Крем, а это Коля. А я Малфой, ваш брат. 10 галеонов. Ты такой же нормальный, как и я.
Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day.